Geometry basic terms. Geometry is the study of how shapes and space and things we see relate to each other, triangles, circles, and angles. So let's first look here. So this kind of all like messed up, but so as you can see here, right here, this A is a point. So points are labeled with letters. And remember, points can't move at all. So there is 0 dimension, meaning no dimension. And so as a point and point connect, that is a line segments, and they are labeled with endpoints. And line segments have 1 dimension because they have length but no width. And they can move back and forth. And ray is also 1 dimensional. It can continually go past the point. So points, and this is a ray. And so line segment, your label is as line AB or BA. Line BA, they're the same things. Point, you'll just say A or B. Ray, let's see. So rays, array, DA, and how you know how in lines you could have switched it around. In rays you cannot because they are different types. Collinear are points that are on the same line. So this 2 lines means the XZ 2 lines equals ZY means that they are the same distance. These 2 are endpoints, but Z, since it's directly in the middle, it is an endpoint. And 2 dimensions are called planar, like this. Perpendicular are lines that intersect like this. Parallel are 2 lines alongside each other. And for more information on parallel, they are distinct and one can be translated on top of the other. Examples, L and M are perpendicular if they meet at one point, and one of the angles at their point of intersection is a right angle. For example, like this. So it's like this, it's meeting at a point, and it is a right angle here. Angles, a figure composed of 2 rays sharing a common endpoints. Common endpoints equals vertex. A circle is a set of all points in a plane that are the same distance away from some given points. Equals center. So moving on, so geometry, we're going to be looking at transformations. So rotations, reflections, and transformations are all rigid transformations. Rigid transformations mean that the length and angles are preserved. Non-examples of rigid transformations are scaling things up and down, searching out only one side, meaning only one point of the shape. So definition of transformations, taking a set of coordinates, meaning points, and changing them into a different set. We do this by shifting each point, different set. So we're going to look at different types of transformations. The first one is translations. We do translations by shifting each point on the same shape in the same direction and with the same amount. So I drew an image here. Let's look, this is our original shape, but we moved it. We did translation, and it's exactly the angles and shape is preserved. And the angle and size is preserved. The second is rotations. Rotating a set of coordinates at a certain amount of degrees. This is the same for each coordinates in a shape like this. So you rotate it. You can rotate it around a point or around the origin. Reflection. Reflecting the shape, a set of coordinates across the line. So usually there'll be a line like this, not like the coordinate line, but just another line, and you reflect it. Moving on to dilations. Dilations are scaling the shape, set of coordinates up or down, and this is not a type of rigid transformation because you're changing the size of the shape and possibly the angle. So this is the original shape. You could scale it down, meaning you could decrease it, or you could scale it up, meaning you could increase it. Oh, I forgot to say, but in rotation, the size stays the same and the vertex at the center of rotation doesn't move. The angle of the rotation is determined by how much we rotate the plane about the center. So A prime is the result of rotating A about P. Looking at segments PA and PA prime, we can determine the degree of how much the rotation was. So like this. It's 1, 2, 3, and you can see it. Clockwise and counterclockwise rotations. So this is how the quadrants are numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it increases as we move counterclockwise. So since clock goes like this, you see so we go like that. Positive angles means counterclockwise rotations. Negative angles means clockwise rotations. Pre-images and images. Pre-images figures are figure transformation. Figure the transformation is performed upon is just A. For example, image figure is a result of the transformation. Like for example, A prime. Note about translations. Remember, you always subtract the prime, meaning the image figure, and then the pre-image figure. You always put the coordinate minus translation, or it could be coordinate plus translation based on what the translation coordinates are. So to figure out translations, you can just go up and down, left or right, based on the numbers given, like 5 units left, 3 units up, or you can solve it by plugging in the values to x, y. Example, if it's 5 units to the left and 3 units up, and it's the translation of p, and let's say point p is 3, -4. So, and it is 5, -5, 3, so this is 5 units to the left at the x, and 3 units up, so +3. So you solve by plugging in the points, 3 minus 5, -4 plus 3, and you get -2 and 1. So you plug in the direction of the translation, and you plug in the coordinates of the point, and you solve to get the new translated points. So to use the translation tool, let's look at the example problem. So you might be given 2 shapes, but using this is how it would look like. The tool will look like this. So you put add translation, and you input the values, and you can press undo too. So let's put the translation in. So here, let's look at the same points. So they are both W. This is W prime, W. So here it's 2, but here it's -5. So how much do we decrease? We decrease by -7. And here's 4, and here it's 0. So we go down by 4, giving us -4. That's why it is -7, -4. So let me go over how you saw use any of the points in the figure. For both, it has to be the same. See the difference in x and y. Based on that, put the x and y values in. And for the example, the point W is 7 left 4 down, giving us -7, 4, and that is it. And I didn't go over these set of notes because they're basically the same thing, but I'll go ahead and post this too. Peace out.